Does Yudong beat Aldo? No. I don't know if it's Aldo that he's fighting either, but yeah. Let's continue the border force talk. Yeah. Someone should clip. That's what I wish people would clip, chat. A lot of people, like the clip channels, in my opinion, chat, they don't even look for funny moments anymore, do they, chat? Have you guys noticed that about clip channels? I feel like all of the real moments where we're laughing with each other in chat aren't in the clip channels anymore. They're just controversial moment. Something I can be hated for. Put that in there. A bad take I had. Put that on a video. It used to be like, this was a really funny moment where Guru and the chat were all laughing together and having a funny moment. Let's clip this. And it isn't like that anymore, man. It's just lame now. It's too niche for a new audience to get. I get that, but you could do both. You could upload both. And I like looking through clips to like find the funny moments that we've had. But, you know, every time I go on a clip channel now, it's just like, oh, there's the worst take I had that stream. There's everyone disagreeing with it. Okay, perfect. You know what I mean? It's just a bit lame. Trying to do clips like Rigo. I don't know. There's a space for me on TikTok, though. The guy who used to do my clips on there stopped doing them. MMA Guru clips. He used to get like 50, 40K views per video. And he stopped doing them. So there's a vacancy for people that do clips on TikTok. Why can't you see Tough? What happened? It just washed it and dried it. It is what it is, dude. It's really thick hair, so it gets a bit crazy. Also, Izzy sleeps Drickers for the plot. Okay. Thank you for the 10 months of membership. Izzy doesn't get dropped in. Okay, you don't get stopped in round 1? Bet. I'll see you when it happens. Izzy does not sleep Drickers. It won't happen. What's a scenario where Aldo becomes the bantamweight champ, and what does that do for his legacy? Fights Cruz, keep him busy in the meantime, and wait for like an O'Malley vacancy. For where O'Malley's looking for a contender that's going to sell something, and then maybe Aldo can get it. It does crazy. Honestly, chat, if Aldo comes back and gets the bantamweight belt, he's the greatest fighter of all time. I truly believe that he would be above DJ, and he might be above even GSP. But no, maybe, I don't know. I think that would be insane. Especially if he gets the win. Because you look at the wins he's got at bantamweight, they're legit wins. They're not Bisping at middleweight for GSP. I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't be the top, but he would be like number 3, I think. Number 4. Like, guaranteed. If he got the bantamweight belt. He'd be top 3. What's the scenario? I've already read it. Oh, yeah, chat. I was going to say this as well. We may need to change how we discuss the GOAT conversation, chat, because I think we now, after seeing Adesanya get this title shot, do we need to deduct points for fame and privilege? What do we think? I think we kind of do. Jan didn't win round 1 against Aldo, did he? Lost. Sorry. Aldo got multiple title shots coming off losses at both featherweight and bantamweight. Be consistent if you're going to add that to the GOAT conversation. It should be mentioned that at the time that Aldo got the featherweight title shot, he stepped in place of Frankie Edgar on short notice. He was also a guy who had a win over Frankie Edgar twice in his career previously. And he stepped in on very short notice to get a title shot at featherweight against Holloway because Edgar actually broke his orbital bone in the build-up to that fight. And Aldo stepped in on short notice with an injured leg to fight Holloway in that rematch that he then lost. Other than that, it's been warranted whenever he got a title shot coming off a loss because they gave him an interim title shot against Edgar when he lost to McGregor, which was warranted because McGregor wasn't coming back down to featherweight yet and was staying at lightweight, and they're a little bit unsure. So that one made sense as well. And then his title shot at bantamweight was because there was literally no other opponents for Cejudo at the time. Everyone was booked up, and they were trying to have the winner of Moraes versus Aldo get the title shot, hoping that it would be Aldo because Cejudo had already beaten Moraes. And a lot of people thought that Aldo got robbed against Moraes, and that's the narrative that they went with, which is why they gave him the title shot at bantamweight. There's a lot of context and reasons behind why Aldo got the title shots he did, and I can spell out every single one of them for you as I just did. You're just dead wrong. Completely. Adesanya moved up to Blachowicz, lost to him, came back down, fought against Vettori, won, defended again, I think, then lost and still got an immediate rematch. That I'm okay with. Lose to Pereira, get an immediate rematch. You don't then lose again. You don't lose to Blachowicz, win at your division, lose your division's belt, get your immediate rematch, lose it again without a defense in between, not one, just lose it again and get dominated, and then get another immediate rematch. That's not how it's ever worked in MMA. No MMA fighter ever has gotten that treatment. This is the most privileged man in UFC history. His legacy is now fraudulent and should be taken with a pinch of salt at the be-all, end-all of the GOAT conversation at the end of his career. And have been, it is what it is. As a kid, you know what I mean? I was a kid. He was like 4 or 5 years older. Bin boy, yeah. And he actually said to me afterwards as well, let me tell you this. OG chat members will remember this story as well, because he actually said to me afterwards, chat, I'm not even joking. He said, I did that so no one else would be you, so they'd know that you were like mine, basically. Like he was basically saying he was claiming me. So he was saying that if I do this in front, no one else is gonna. But he like made up the most bullshit excuse on the way home, and I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? You put me in a fucking bin." I was confused in my head. Obviously, I was like, "Okay," and then just walked home with my friends. But he literally was like, "I was doing that so no one else would. Like, someone's gonna do it, so I thought I'll be the one, and I'll just put you in a bin, and then you'll get out." I was like, "What the fuck is this, prison?" Like. It was not, it was literally, no, you just wanted to put me in a bin. Stop finding your fucking way out of it, dude. You know what I mean? Only I can mess with him type shit. Yeah. Fucking, literally the most bullshit excuse he's ever said. What would you do to him now? I'd probably mog the fuck out of him, but I don't know. He was kind of cool. He just put me in a bin once. That's all. Back to back. Your gross fixed the camera. No, I'm good. John beating Tom or Izzy beating DDP? What's worse? You know what? John beating Tom, because Izzy's not as bad of a person as John Jones. He's just annoying and lame. How dramatic would MMA Academic make a Guru documentary like he did Garbrandt? I know, dude, he would. We're supposed to be doing that as well. Thank you for the $5, but there's a lot that's happened that he wants to add in to the story, like the John Jones stuff. Like, things keep happening. He doesn't want to make it a finished product yet. Can you imagine if we did that at the start of this year? Oh, he went to South Africa and met Drickus. There'd be none of the Jones stuff, none of the other shit. Izzy will be on roids versus DDP, definitely. Izzy's ex sent Guru vids of Izzy 4th point. I think it is. Yeah, now it is. Now that they can go to PFL for more, it will. Because no one is ever going to give a fuck about you at PFL. No one will ever give a shit about you at PFL. Don't get to the top of PFL and start saying, why does no one give me respect? You knew that when you signed up. No one is ever going to give a shit about you. So that's where it hurts the UFC, at the very, very lowest level. Like, if there's a guy with name value, he should not be signed to the same contract as some random nobody that's signed for 10 for 10. Pimlet should not have been signed for 12 for 12. Do you understand how crazy that is? Paddy Pimlet got signed for 12 for 12. He made more at Cage Warriors. That's why he wasn't signing for the UFC for so long. That's insane. That is insane. Like, Paul Hughes, in my opinion, yes or no, chat, 20 for 20. 20 for 20, I think Paul Hughes is worth. That's probably what PFL gave him, and a chance in a tournament. 20 for 20. 20 for 20, I reckon. Definitely. He was the best prospect regional in the world at lightweight. Or no, at featherweight. Best regional prospect in the world. They just let PFL have him. Dumb as fuck. Is Bisping the most shit champ? Maybe the second worst champion in UFC history, you know? Funny ones that told me that, dude. Just wasting time. Is Bisping the most shit? I've already read it. Second most shit champ. Sarah's worse. You know what's weird, yeah, chap? You know what I don't understand? You know Sarah and Bisping would get mad about that. Don't you agree? Sarah and Bisping would get really mad about that, but it is absolutely true. And unequivocally true, is it not? The worst male champions in UFC history are Bisping and Sarah. They would really rage about it, but objectively, it's very, very true. But I can imagine him getting real heated. Like, who are you to fucking say? What do you fucking know? But that is objectively 100. There's no other candidate. There, honestly, yeah. Who is a worse champion in UFC history? Maybe Jamahal Hill, because he didn't beat the champ to get it. But I'd still feel like Jamahal Hill's high level. Maybe Jamahal Hill will be in there now after the 300 fight. I wouldn't say Garbrandt. Garbrandt beat Cruz to get his belt, which was very impressive at the time. I'm talking men's champions, not Luke Rockhold. I think Rockhold was high level. You got to remember Rockhold was the Strikeforce champ as well, chat. So he was like world class before he even got to the UFC top 5. Gents Pulver, yeah, but you know, maybe not as bad. Lesnar was kind of shit, could be number 3. But don't you guys think, chat, that Lesnar was more impressive because he didn't actually have the experience when he won his championship? So even though people say Lesnar never got this many defenses, Lesnar only had this many fights, I almost think that makes it more impressive for him. Like, that's not a negative thing, in my opinion. I think that's like, oh, wow, that's actually even more impressive that he'd done it with 3 fights. You know what I mean? And got the heavyweight belt. Where's your belt, brother? My black belt. I've actually got my black belt on me, but I'm not going to go get it. Thank you for the $2.